This is the Evergloom Rainforest, which is an area around the halfway point of the game. I chose these areas to showcase more in-depth mechanics. Otherwise, like the first areas, you're still learning the ropes on how to use the different types of weapons, magic, skills, and all that. I just don't even start with the dog, so this way I can showcase what the game looks like, you know, once you have more arsenal at your disposal. So as you saw, I just encountered with an enemy. Enemies are on the map, and as they spot you, they usually will run towards you. If they touch you from behind, they'll gain an extra turn in battle. If you touch them first from behind, you'll get an extra turn in battle. So use that to your advantage. Every turn you get to choose a weapon. There is no attack command in this game, and every weapon is effective against different types of enemies or situations. In this case, as you can see, the sword is effective against plant type enemies, and well, we're fighting a plant type enemy, so it makes sense to choose a sword. And as you just saw, the damage number was accompanied by the vulnerable text. Scar, which is your loyal pet companion, is AI controlled, so you don't need to choose his commands every turn. This helps speed up the pace of battle. However, you can give him directives to be like either offensive, defensive, or to follow your commands, and he'll attack whichever enemy you attack. Here, I touched the enemy from behind, and now I have an extra turn. As you can see, the blue bar under my health, TP, technical points, is full. That allows me to unleash. Unleash are special attacks that are different for each weapon. Each of them are pretty different, and they have both pros and cons. Like this Ravage, for example, it's a very, very powerful attack, but you lose a turn afterwards. So if you're fighting a very strong enemy, you might expose yourself. In this case, I'll showcase a triple thrust. I love that animation, and it's a hand drawn by the wonderful and talented Daniel. The tiles and map sprites by Angel, and most of the enemy sprites, cutscenes are by Evelyn. Item pickups, you just walk over them and you'll be able to pick up items. Some ores that you can find on the map, you can mine them. This incentivizes, exploration, and it rewards the player by, not just walking around without getting anything out of it. I'll go over the ores in 1 second, but I strongly suggest you mine them because they are a very valuable item. That mana stone over there, that large mana stone, it's how you learn magic. But as you can see, we cannot go over the deep water, so I'll have to go back and find a way. But first, let me showcase what the ores are for. So in Manafinder, these two commands, Imbue and Scar, they do not cost a turn, so you can use them as many times as you want, but they do cost. The Imbue in particular will cost you ores, which you mine as you saw earlier. What these ores do, they allow you to become of the chosen element. So now I am of the thunder element. This means that all my attacks will deal additional thunder damage, but it also means that I'll be weak to earth elemental damage, but I'll be resistant to both thunder and water. This adds a layer of complexity to combat, and it can be very beneficial in combat, but it can also be your downfall. As you saw, my attack dealt an additional 98 damage that was from the thunder damage. Here we go. Here's how you learn magic in this game. You have to find those large manastones. And each of those will teach you a different magic. Magic in this game is mostly for defensive or debuffing, not so much damage dealing. And it's just another layer of strategy that it's strongly encouraged to be used, especially against boss encounters. Your life will be made much easier if you use magic. So another element of the game, as you can see, resources are becoming a theme now with the magic, the ores. There's also these coma leaves. This is the main way to heal yourself. But you can only hold as many as your manager allows you to. That can be upgraded throughout the game. So right now I can only hold 5 at the time, and you can replenish them whenever you find these coma plants. So be on the lookout for resources, items, ores, coma leaves. And I'll end the playthrough by showcasing this fight. It's an enemy I love. This one has no particular vulnerability, so choose whatever weapon you prefer. Some enemies definitely pose a bigger challenge than others. Scar can also do Unleash, as you are seeing right now. That was the belly. And yeah, that's pretty much what Manafinder is about. It's a turn-based RPG. If you want to learn more about the story, which is a very important aspect, of course, I suggest you download the demo. I didn't dive into the story much here since I wanted to focus on gameplay, but with the demo you can play the whole prologue and get an idea of what the story is about. And in summary, it's about surviving a pretty hostile world, beautiful but hostile world, and you are a mana finder. You are tasked with collecting manastones so that you can bring them back to a community of survivors, and with those manastones they can create protective barriers. Of course, there's both internal conflicts about how to use the manastones, as well as external threats. Thank you for watching this playthrough.